welcome. We are so excited today. We are honored, very, very honored. We have with us Bonnie Gore, who's one of the supervisors for the Placer County, and that's for area number 1, correct?
District 1, which is primarily Roseville, yes.
Okay. Well, Bonnie, we're so glad. You and I have known each other for a long time,
Yes.
worked in the Roseville Chamber and some other things and fundraising events, and we're just thrilled that you would join us, because this is a big kudo for us to have someone such as yourself to talk to us about, your experiences, how you became familiar with A Touch of Understanding. So tell me, how is that you first became associated with ATOU?
Well, first, thanks for having me. I'm excited just to be here with you and talk about an organization that does such great work. I learned about ATOU probably 17 years ago when I was first working for a local hospital.
Okay.
And they were a supporter of ATOU.
Okay.
And I met Leslie Dodora and her dad, Ed.
Okay.
That long ago, and was really impressed. They invited me out to come see one of the workshops, and I was blown away.
So you actually been to a workshop?
I've been to a workshop a couple of times,
Wow.
probably 17 years ago, and then again maybe last year as well.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. We're so grateful for that, because then, people that go, they become fans of A Touch of Understanding. You become ambassadors of ATOU, so you can share with other people what we do, because I consider us sometimes one of the best kept secrets in Placer County.
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually been one of the things that has happened as a result of me going to the event and actually trying to let people know about some of the nonprofits in the area. Through Leadership Roseville, we actually invited A Touch of Understanding several years to come out and talk about the program. But then Mayor Carol Garcia and I were invited to a dark lunch.
Okay, the dark meal with Darlene.
Yes, it was, I think, one of the first times they did it with adults. We were sort of the guinea pigs. And it was one of the best experiences I had ever had.
Awesome.
Just really having an opportunity to experience what somebody who's blind might experience when they go to a restaurant and sit down and have a meal.
Okay.
It was, pardon the pun, but eye-opening to really have a chance to think about what it would be like to not have sight, and what it would be like to have to navigate just walking through the restaurant and figuring out where your drink is and making sure you don't spill salsa down the front of your outfit. It was just a great experience, and as a result of us doing the dark lunch, we invited ATOU to come out to our Roseville Chamber of Commerce Leadership Roseville program. And so the last several years we have done a dark lunch for the Leadership Roseville, Rockland, and Lincoln groups.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm sure that's well received.
The class members love it, and then it's a great opportunity for us to promote the work that A Touch of Understanding does. And like you said, it's sort of it's a secret. A lot of people don't know about ATOU, but as soon as they learn about the work that the organization does, I think we're all hooked.
Yes,
and we realize the value of making sure that not only children but adults as well understand what disabilities are and how people are no different if they have a disability. Right.
And I know that former Mayor Carol Garcia was also instrumental in having our training. So there was the training that we did for adults there with the city of Roseville as well.
Yes.
And I don't know whether didn't you also serve on the city council at some point?
I did, yes.
Okay.
And what a great thing that we can do is, as businesses or as a city, utilize the services of A Touch of Understanding to teach adults how you might work a little bit better with somebody who has autism or is in a wheelchair, and making sure that they're accommodated in your business.
Absolutely. So recently you also were able to participate at our Evening of Insight fundraiser, our first annual, which was so successful.
It was wonderful.
I think we're going to be doing that again. And you got to be a table host. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the best part was that everybody else was blindfolded and I wasn't, and I got to watch them. So that actually was a lot of fun. One of my favorite parts was one of the ladies decided to take a selfie of her and her husband, and she was blindfolded. The selfie was hysterical. You know, that like all you could see was like this part of them. So it was a lot of fun. But I think what I really enjoyed was just hearing people's feedback, like, wow, trying to figure out, where is my food? And boy, that's not easy to eat the salad. And, one gentleman, God bless him, he decided instead of trying to cut up his chicken, literally, he took it in his hand and ate the chicken because it was just easier, because it's difficult if you can't see.
Exactly.
And we're so accustomed to being able to see everything we do and to be in an environment where you don't have that sense. You take it away and you're like, oh, I have to do something unnatural.
You're right.
So it was, I think everyone who participated enjoyed it and gave them an opportunity to experience something that we otherwise wouldn't experience.
Exactly. And like you said, not a pun, but it is an eye-opening experience.
Yes.
And Darlene herself, she is so amazing. Her spirit, her whole attitude about her disability that she didn't always have, 20 years ago, then she totally lost her sight. So the way that she comes across and she makes everybody feel at ease, I think really helps with that. So we were so grateful that you could be there and be part of that. And we had so many great table hosts, and they were giving us a lot of good feedback about the experience. So we certainly are very appreciative of
My
that.
pleasure, and I want to encourage people, come next year. They might have already booked the date. Do you have the date? When is it?
It is March 26, 2020.
So March 26, 2020. Put it on your calendar to come
Save
to
the date.
the dark dinner for a
That's
touch of
right.
understanding. It is worth your time for a great
absolutely.
cause, and you won't have to eat your chicken with your fingers. You will be able to figure out how to cut it up.
Well, it's interesting because at our table we had my good friend was there, and we were actually one of the sponsors. So we had her son there and his wife, and they were cheering each other with the glasses, blindfolded with that. And he actually was reaching for her face and fed her a piece of chicken. And she was all game, and it didn't get on her or anything. And Linda Bigler was the table host, and she was laughing and taking pictures of it. She said that was great because people were taking the initiative to do something totally different.
Right. Give it a shot. Okay, so I'm going to try to dip my chip in the salsa and hope it doesn't land on my lap. But hey, if it does, big deal. Things wash.
That's what Darlene explains as the air diet. When you pick up something and there's nothing there.
Maybe, that's not a bad idea. If we all ate blindfolded, we might eat a little bit less.
You know what?
You might be onto something.
That is a good idea. So let me ask you too. So because you've seen the value of a touch of understanding, we're always looking for volunteers and people that can kind of help. Can you speak to the value of coming and volunteering with us?
Oh, absolutely. One of the reasons I got re-involved with a touch of understanding is one of my friends, I'm guessing his kids got involved with the program, and he ended up serving on the board of directors at Stanford Harada.
Okay.
And he's like, Bonnie, you got to come to this fundraiser, and you got to come to this other fundraiser. And so, of course, I said yes to Stanford, but it re-involved me with ATOU, and it was because he was involved that got me involved.
And that's good.
So people can serve on the board. They can serve as somebody who helps raise money. People can help volunteer at
the workshops.
Absolutely. Just helping out with all the kids as they're trying the Braille machine, or they're listening to
all the stations that
all the different stations, right? So there's so many ways to volunteer, and it really doesn't take a lot of time.
No.
Spend a morning with a group of kids at an elementary school, and you're going to walk away energized because those kids are so excited about learning, and then hearing their input after the program, saying, wow, this is what I learned when I was trying to use the wheelchair.
Exactly.
It's
and
worth
some of the
time.
questions that they ask are unbelievable because they are totally engaged. Nolan does a great job keeping the kids in tune. Sometimes they can get off a little bit, get excited, and he brings them right back to where they're totally engaged with what we're talking about, what's being presented. So we have a special treat for you. everybody that does our carpool conversation
Okay.
gets an opportunity to hear a joke from Mr. Nolan.
Oh, I love jokes. Maybe I can share it.
Oh yeah, they're always good.
Okay, good.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
I don't know, but I can't wait to hear when a joke becomes a dad joke because my dad loves jokes. So when, Nolan?
When the punchline becomes apparent.
Okay, I probably remember. That's really good. But let's write it down afterwards so I can tell it to my dad this weekend.
Now, do you have one, since your dad likes jokes, that you could tell Nolan?
No, that's the problem. I never remember
Yeah,
jokes.
you know.
I have to write them down.
Yeah, I don't necessarily remember them either. But we also have another new challenge that actually Nolan has introduced. And since some people may have missed the episode a couple of episodes ago, Nolan, talking about the paperclip challenge, can you introduce that a little bit so that our viewers are on top of what we're going to be doing for the next several episodes?
Well, a long time ago, there was a gentleman who traded a red paperclip for various objects, and 14 trades later, he traded for a house.
A house.
A house. And so I am doing my own paperclip challenge. Last week, I was able to carpool with Leslie, and we traded for a Sharpie. And I traded that Sharpie for a flower pen.
Oh.
So I am going to trade you
And I'm going to give
this
this
awesome
to you.
limited edition flower pen, one of a kind. Won't
I
find
love
anyone
it.
like
I love it. I'm very excited. So, one of the benefits of going to lots of events is that periodically I win raffle prizes or silent auctions. And so I thought, what can I trade for this really cool pen? So I have a fun thing. And so my trade will be, I've got this really beautiful
Oh, show that
teapot.
off. Ooh, my
So,
goodness. That is beautiful.
This is the next opportunity for you to trade up with the next person who comes and does this
Awesome.
drive-along interview.
That's so cool.
So hopefully, the teapot will become something else, and maybe we'll end up with a house.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be
Which
way
would be a lot of
cool.
fun.
It would be a lot of fun, because then we could auction that off and raise some additional money for ATOU.
Sounds like a great idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us today. You were such a delight to talk to. We're so happy for you being in this new position, and I know you're having fun doing it, and you're going to be a great asset for the county in your role. So
Well, thank you
so much.
both,
Thank you.
and thank you for all you do with A Touch of Understanding
He
and our
likes
kids.
that.
Yes.
All right, but remember, you have to trade it away.
I do. I do
I
have to
will.
trade it.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.